Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today, as usual. So I hope everybody's had a good day wherever you're at in the world. God bless you guys. Peace be with you. Okay, I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on both platforms. I have this platform and I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On that platform, I do tarot card readings, a little bit of that, but more oracle cards over there. So check that platform out. It's a little bit different in the fact that I use, like, for example, I love Louise Hay, by the way. I use like more inspirational cards like Louise Hay. This is Power Thought cards. If you don't know who Louise Hay is, oh my gosh, research her. She is an amazing person. She's no longer with us, but while she was here, she created a lot of affirmation cards, best-selling author, something, I think it's like How to Heal the Body. Anyways, just a great person. So yeah, so on that platform, of course, I was born a psychic, so I don't really need cards. I channel messages from my higher self. But on that platform, I do a lot of that, and then I use the inspirational cards, and then, with every inspirational card, I'll have my own 2 cents that I add in. So yeah. That is what I do over there. So it's a little bit different, but it's because oracle cards are a little bit softer than tarot. Tarot can bring the truth forward in a very, like, abrupt cut throat way. Like, it just, like, can cut right through you like a knife. Like, especially when you're not aware of something. That's why I always do the disclaimer, letting people know that, hey, the truth could come out. It could upset you. You may not hear what you want to hear, but my messages are never bad messages. So, all right. God bless you guys. Peace be with you. Okay. God be with you. All right. So anything else before we start? I can't think of anything. Nothing new to update. All right, so we are calling upon the Most High. Oh, if you could like the video, tap the notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed. Also, for those of you that have personal questions, if you have a personal question, please don't spam the chat. Send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and I will answer your question, okay? And I'll set a 20-minute timer. So that is how I answer personal questions. That's how I'm doing my personal readings at this time. All right, you guys, get the likes up, please, and thank you. Please and thank you. Thank you guys for all of your love and your support and your kindness and all of that and being a part of the collective. I love you guys so much. What is this pinching me for? What is this about? Okay, I've got some bracelets overlapping. So anyways, I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you're at. All right, so we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ and the Ascended Masters, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, including our guardian angels, the archangels, and any other beings of love and light that are our protectors. And we're asking that all of that combined, please continue to push these messages out to the people that they need to get to. Thank you, God, for everything that you're already doing. Thank you for everything that you've already done. And thank you for everything that you're going to do. I know that we don't always see every single little miracle that is taking place in our lives. And so I just want to say thank you for all that we don't see. And thank you for the stuff that we do see. I'm grateful for both. And so I love you so much, God. Peace be with you. And please continue to protect the collective. Please continue to protect me. Please continue to help me get past triggers. And I just want to say, I love you, Divine. I love you. I love you. I love you. All honor, glory, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, your higher self, the Most High God, the divine realm, for everything that I'm able to do. I would not be able to do it without them. So they get all of the credit over here and on my other platform as well. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope that the work that I do pleases the divine, and I'm always open to any interpretations and any other messages that you would like me to speak about. Okay, amen. So by watching my readings, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry about that. But I pray that you get through it, okay? I know what it's like to lose a mother and a father, well, biologically speaking, but oh, I couldn't even imagine losing my adoptive family. That would be probably the worst thing in the world. So I definitely feel for you, and I'm praying for you, okay? Drink it, not inhale it. Okay, so by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comments, or anybody in the chat. It's completely uncalled for, unnecessary. It's nobody's job to religiously condemn or bully anybody else. And anybody that's doing that is not acting from a place of godliness. They're not acting from a place of where Jesus does not support bullying. Jesus does not support gang stalking. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Jesus does not support harassment of any type. Okay, so for those of you that feel the need to do that, I do take action against that. Like, first of all, I give it to God, and that's probably the scariest thing, is people have to deal with God. But besides that, I will, and so just to let you guys know, if at any point you see me get really quiet, or if I have to close my eyes, it's usually because somebody said something that's hurt my feelings or really triggered me, to where I have to like zoom in and see the name and write the name down so that I can block them later. And then when I'm closing my eyes, I'm not like ignoring you guys. I'm literally going within and I'm making my connection with God's source, and I'm getting out of that energy. Okay, so that's the way that I cope and deal with things, so that I can rebalance my chakra system and get everything back into alignment, so that so that person doesn't get to throw their reading off, because that's probably what they want, oh, repent for your sins, oh, you did it, whatever fucking nonsense. And these people are like literally the ones that are actively sinning because they're telling everybody else to repent while they think that they're better than everyone else. That is insane to me. But I am not one that's gonna argue with people who are in religious psychosis. If that's where they want to stay, they can go somewhere else where people are up under that. You know what I mean? Jesus is welcome here. But people that hate God should probably stay away from me, because I really do love God. So yeah, if you have any personal questions, send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question, okay? And I set a 20-minute timer. All right. So there are two books that I will be talking about in the ending of the reading. So I'm just letting you guys know now about them, so that if you're interested in these books at all, stay to the end of the reading, and then I'll do a more in-depth talk on them. So these books are linked in the description box below, and they're tagged in the products. So the first book is called The Truth of God. It is an advanced intuitive living workbook, and it is written by Michael STEADMAN, who is a doctor of divinity. And thank you to whoever that was that told me about the doctor of divinity. I had no idea. I thought DD was like a nickname. No, it's not. So this book, okay, I'll talk about how all of the techniques I use from this book every single day in my own personal life. But I'm going to read the back of it just to give you guys a taste, so that if you're interested, you can stay till the end, okay? So the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives us information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of. Okay. So yeah, I use techniques out of this book every day. I've been using them for 10 years with success. And I also pray and stuff like that. But this book has so many freaking, I'll just go through what some of the chapters say. A little on meditation, being thrown a bone. This is me throwing you guys a bone. If you don't know what that means, it's like giving you the spiritual cheat code to the universe. A little bit on astral projection, cosmic consciousness, universal mind, build me up just to tear myself down, the plant and mineral kingdom, the spirit moves me literally, turning the corner, cleansing, other lives, past lives, my false limitations and false directions, the journey to God, the story of God, compassion and being God, dimensions and infinite possibilities, things I found out along the way, the spiritual workbook, energy ball, controlling the mind, passive and active, meditation, thinking of nothing, the space between the word technique, visualization, focus on what brings you joy and gratitude, feeling meditation, love, joy, grounding, breathing technique, prayer, cleaning out our temple, cleansing the emotions. It's all about frequency, creating our own reality, tools to creating a positive reality. The spiritual bank, all manifestation starts as thought, future and past live in the now. Why don't I feel like God? We're always creating. What are we choosing? Expectations and control, creating boxes, beliefs colorize our creation. You are not your body, the purpose of life, keeping the positive flow, a perspective of God. And then the intuitive techniques, how to be clear, forward, backward, muscle testing, pendulum, intuitive feeling method, joy versus anger, the 1 to 10 method, advanced techniques, understanding gratitude, compassion, and unconditional love, the mind technique. You don't have to be psychic and you get what you put into it. Those are all of the chapters. So I'll be doing an in-depth talk about this book at the very end. The second book that, okay, so if you have a question, send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question, okay? All right, so the second book that I'm going to talk about at the end of the reading, just to give you an FYI. Now, this is just for those of you that are interested. No, I don't do free questions. So just to let you guys know, for those of you that are interested in learning to read cards for yourself and for others, I have the original Rider-Waite quick and easy tarot with the description on the cards. I have this tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. It is what I wrote the book Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells off of. This book will teach you how to read cards for yourself and for others. Okay, it is a guide. And then this book is the original. If you learn the interpretations from these cards, you can go to any specialty deck, and when they give you an abstract picture that has nothing to do with what the card means, you'll know what the actual card means because you will know the original. So I'll read the back of the book and then stay to the end if you are interested in hearing more about it, because I'll actually read from these books. Okay, so this book was inspired by the Astraea spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to read cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck, which is this one, for each of these 22 cards. Different card combination descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. So we will be going on about that. We'll be going on about that. Where is that? Who am I channeling? Where is that coming from? We'll be going on about that later. Like what? That is so funny. Okay, so I hope everybody has had a good day. So yeah, just to let you guys know, for those of you that keep asking, if I keep repeating myself, it's because new people are asking. If you have a personal question, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question. $20 American, USD. That's what's called. And then I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question. Okay, I don't do free readings for people because I'm just not going, there needs to be an equal exchange of energy. I'm not going to dive into anybody else's energies, demons, etc. for free. That's crazy. I'm already doing a free reading for the collective. So Oh, also, yeah, like I said, no bullying me, no harassment, none of that stuff, okay? I'm not the one. I am not the one to fuck with, okay? If you want to go mess with somebody, go find somebody that cares, because I don't care. I will block you, I'll remove you, I'll report you to YouTube, all right? To the people that I actually work for. Well, I work for God, but it's through YouTube that I work for God. So yeah, so you guys, just so you know, if you have personal questions, I do not answer personal questions for free. Send me a $20 super chat with your question and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question. Okay? All right. So the message that I was getting that was coming through, well, I was watching a short video about the UFO files, and it's not just the UFO files that I'm going to be talking about. Welcome in, Firefly. It's not just that, but I feel, okay, there's been a few things that have been happening in the media lately that they've been releasing, you know, the way the government behaves is very suspicious. Anytime they want to pull the attention off of the president or whatever else they're doing, okay, to get people to go, oh, look over here. You know what I mean? They want to pull they want to get everybody's attention to look at something else. I feel like that's when they come out with, oh, let's release these UFO files. Let's release these FBI, CIA documents. Okay. I have looked at some of the stuff in the UFO files, and I truly do believe that the moon landing was faked. There is no person that's going to ever tell me that that original footage from the moon landing was fake. There's too much evidence that shows that it's, or that it was real. There's too much evidence on it that shows that it was fake. Secondly, I can actually connect with extraterrestrial energies and speak with them. And if they say that, trust me, when humans be trying to leave the planet, the extraterrestrials are like, you're not going to be going into space with this mentality that you can throw your flag down and own some shit. And definitely not on another planet. So, again, and I know we can send drones out and, little machines and stuff like that. But again, we need to be very careful because, like Mars, we don't want those beings there to send one of those things to us. We would completely freak out. It'd be like it'd be like that movie Full Disclosure. The government tries to give full disclosure to drive everybody crazy. Okay, I have seen the UFO footage, and a lot of it looks very, very, very AI and fake to me, just to be quite honest. So it's not just that, it's other things too. That, the media and the government and the people around you, and if you're an enlightened person, they want you to believe their agenda. Because if you believe their agenda, then you're looking over here and you're not looking here where they don't want you to focus. Does that make sense? So it's like basically a distraction. I forget which Marvel one this one is, but there's a scene where Thor and Loki, they're like in the elevator and they're coming up the elevator, and Thor says something like, okay, when we get out of the elevator, we're gonna do hostage, or we're gonna do get help. They name it something. Anyways, he's like, oh no, I hate that get help one. They get off of the elevator and Thor picks up Loki and says, help, we need help. And the people come running over. He picks up Loki and throws it at the people and it knocks them out. Hilarious. That is like the definition of distraction. You know what I mean? I'm not standing up. Okay, for what? So you can make fun of my body? Go look in the mirror at yourself. Okay, this is my workplace. Don't come on here and sexually harass me or whatever you think you're doing. Why is it so important so that you need to see my body so you can try to curse it? Is that what this is? So you can go yank your snake or whatever you have or whatever you don't have. Okay, I'm blocking you because no, I'm not your baby. Okay, I'm not anybody's baby. I'm not standing up because y'all don't need to see the rest of my body. That's not what I'm here for. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for saying that I'm beautiful. That's so nice. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of BS being pushed in the media right now. And then these people that it's like they'll say anything to get likes, okay? I'm somebody that if somebody is pushing an agenda and I don't agree with that, I don't care if they unsubscribe, if they don't like me for that. Okay? For me speaking what I am picking up on. But there are these people that are in the media that are like, they're either people pleasers or they try to follow trends. And, bullying others is never a good trend to follow. So they think it's okay to continue to like spread these lies and all this misinformation. And I feel like, look, I've seen real aliens. I've interacted with them. I've seen real UFOs. None of them have ever looked like whatever the hell was in the UFO documents. I think that is fabricated. I think that it's fake. Now, if you look at it, it looks fake. In fact, one of the things that they had looked like some type of angel being. That came from a video game that was put out a few years ago. Legitimately, that legit thing came from a video game. So as far as it being the 100% truth, do not be deceived, okay? Yes, aliens do exist. Yes, they do. But, and they have made communication with our government. But I feel like if they wanted to be revealed on a massive level, they would do that on a massive level. They wouldn't be doing this, weird back and forth crap, okay? And I do know that our government's made, well, let's just say mistakes in the past by agreeing to give these extraterrestrials, some different groups of them, Oh, thank you. Yeah, like literally just agreeing to give them children. I was one of those children, so that's how I know about that. But yeah, I look at extraterrestrials not as, I don't look at them with fear. If I were to see a UFO or anything like that, I'd be like, oh, thank God, I'm done. We can go now. Unless it's, see, I have ancestors, spirit guides, whatever, extraterrestrials that are terrifying. And then I have ones that are not terrifying. So I know the full spectrum of them, but like if they were going to make themselves known to us, they would do it all over the world at one time. And if you're from Africa, that extraterrestrials are real because they always are in above the skies of Africa, coming down to the ground, interacting with people like they are. And so, yeah, they all have their own agendas, though. Just like people have their own agendas, so do extraterrestrials. They all got their own agendas. So does the government. It's like, look over here, just so that we stop looking at whatever it is that they're doing right now or whatever they're trying to hide from. And they are trying to hide from a lot of stuff because, again, the files are out and all of that. These people, they want to run and hide. Okay, well, that's fine. They can run and hide, but telling us to go look somewhere else, only the people that are and again, even lemmings is not a real thing. Somebody made that up, but only the people that are acting like lemmings are going to be like, oh yeah, that's a real thing. No, I promise you, if you've ever seen a UFO, if you've seen a space object, you will know that the stuff that they just put out is fake. So these are tarot cards. I haven't even started. I don't even need cards. I could just sit here and talk to you guys all day. But I like using cards. But yeah, I will be starting the reading in just one second. But this is what we're talking about. Deception. Being deceived. Accepting any old shit that they give you. These intelligence agencies, when they say, oh, we've released all the files. No, the F they've not. they've released one little portion of the files. And not only that, it's all with an intention to harvest our energy, okay, for whatever reason or not. They want our energy. They don't want us going within, making our own connection with God. They don't want us praying, connecting with Jesus, like literally, okay? They don't want us doing that. Because once we do that, we become aware, we wake up, our vibration rises, the planet rises, and then everything else begins to evolve and move towards God. And for some reason, the government, they don't want that. They don't want a mass awakening. The thing is that a mass awakening is what's needed. Now, if extraterrestrials thought that them revealing themselves to us was going to awaken people, I'm sure that they'll do that at some time. But I feel like that they want us to have a natural evolution. They don't want to be, it's kind of like, how in the story of the fallen watchers, God was like, don't intervene with the humans, telling these angels, right? And then they're like, but we love the humans so much, right? So it's kind of like that. It's like, don't intervene with them. Let them come to the conclusion naturally. And then once people get to a certain vibration, all of a sudden aliens will have always been here. That's how the shift is going to happen. It's not going to be from some government leak of information that they've had access to. I'm sorry, but no, that you can tell that a lot of that stuff is AI. And they're putting it out there because they know that it's literally AI. It's Project Bluebeam or whatever. And so they know that if that's what you're looking for, if you were to see an actual UFO, you wouldn't know that's what it was, because you think that they look like this. You think that it looks like this, okay? And so that's what I'm saying. What would I say to somebody that doesn't believe in tarot cards? Nothing. Everybody's got to have their own experience. I mean, the cards are not, I don't know what people believe about tarot cards, to be quite honest. The cards are not some magical tool. They're just cards. Like this was not even created for divination. It was created for some type of playing game, like like Uno type thing. Not exactly Uno, but like a regular card game. But it was created in the 1400s, and only royalty and very, very wealthy people had access to it. People couldn't even realize that it was used for divination until the 1700s. So again, if when it comes to believing in tarot cards, I don't know. If I don't believe in the cards, it's the energy that comes through that I channel when I pull the card. And then when I'm talking about something, usually the card confirms it. But how Vassago explained tarot works is like this. So while you're having a human experience, you at one point or another will experience every single card in the deck. Okay? It maps human consciousness. That's how it tells past, present, and future. So if you want to look at it that way, that's how, and then you just have to be able to have, I want to say that people are born with their abilities, but at times when they go through spiritual awakenings, those gifts will open up. Okay. When I first started doing readings, I did not know that tarot cards existed. I just would sit with people and talk with them. Then I went to using pieces of paper, because I would always be like, I would do the reading with the person. I would tell them a bunch of stuff, things that they needed to remember. And then they would end up contacting me later and being like, what was it that you said? And I'm like, yo, listen. So then I started using pieces of paper and I would write down notes. And then that was, I would give them the note after the reading so that they would take that with them, kind of like a psychiatrist, but so that they could remember what we talked about. And, if this or that were to happen, what to do about it. And then I evolved to I evolved to oracle cards. But I will tell you this. So strange. The first oracle card deck that I came across was Doreen Virtue. Now she's no longer making cards, but when she was making cards, she made the best cards. So I got quite a few of her decks. They're very hard to find now because she's like denounced all of her stuff that she made, which I think is very sad. She's under the influence of something negative. But it was, where is it? I've got it somewhere over here. It was the past life oracle deck. And I at that point I was working in a metaphysical store, and people would come in and they would always want past life, and I don't need the cards for that. But very interesting how me and I work with another psychic, we would be talking about this stuff, and then I pulled the cards and boom, it would come out, and it would all be relevant to what we were just talking about that's going on in this life. So interestingly enough, oracle cards, then I got into different types of oracle cards, angel cards. I love angels. And then when I came across tarot, I didn't even come across the original. I came across the goddess tarot. So I wasn't introduced to the original until I was working in the metaphysical store way later. And then people were coming in going, what deck would be the best one? Because for some people, tarot is very cut and dry. It can bring forward information that you're not ready to receive. That's very abrupt. People don't always hear. And this is why I'm like, oh, be careful what you ask. Like, do you really want to know? Because like the tarot has a way of bringing the information out. Now, I am more of somebody that, it's not that I sugarcoat things, but I find the most kindest way to state it. The other psychic that I work with, they are just like straight, they will just tell you, like, that person is the lowest compatible person for you possible. And if you continue to be with them, you will suffer. Like, you will literally just boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, well, like, yes, we can say that, but there's a nicer way. But that's just the way that he is, And so that's how tarot can be, very abrupt. And if some people, they don't, yes, everything that I do. I mean, I'm not a Christian, but I love Jesus and I still work with Jesus. Okay. I don't go to church anymore. Okay. Because I don't understand Latin. So there's no point. But yeah, if you don't believe that this is in alignment with Christianity, then go somewhere else. Okay. I work with Jesus every single day. I was born a psychic, just like Jesus was born a psychic. And tarot cards are not in the Bible. There's like, y'all are misinterpreting information, and you are literally like just following blindly what other people say because it's fear mongering. Okay. I know my own connection, and I don't speak to whatever the hell other people are talking to. Okay. I communicate with my higher self, God. So again, if you don't believe it's compatible with Christianity, then move on. You don't need to be here. It's not any more difficult than that. The one thing that I don't agree with Christianity is everybody being a literal coward and a weak-ass person, always calling upon in the name of Jesus and not fighting their own battles. Jesus already died on the cross. As far as I'm concerned, he did his job. People should be living the way that he lived. Jesus would have never approved of Christianity. He was not a religious person. And he would not like the way that the church twisted his story to manipulate the masses. Okay. So, I just choose not to drink from the cup of poison that those types of situations, religions and whatnot, like to offer. I would rather have a real connection to Jesus. Okay. But again, it's your belief system. This is why I tell you guys about your beliefs, how important they are. If you believe that tarot is demonic, then you're going to live in a world of fear where you can be open to be attacked. I personally do not believe, these are cards, they're pieces of paper. How is this going to hold any type of power? Like, I'm sorry, but that don't even make any sense to me. It's a piece of paper that's got some type of lamination on it and words on it. I look at the Bible like it's literature, because Jesus did not write. He did not read. He was not religious. And not only that, he did not judge people. Okay. It was the people that killed him that were judging people and saying, oh, this is wrong. Oh, no, you know what? If you think that's wrong, go talk to your God. Go talk to Jesus. because I'm doing exactly what I've been asked to do with my abilities and my gifts. Okay? And I'm always praising God, giving the glory to God, and involving God in everything that I do in life. And not no imaginary Bible God. I'm talking about real essence of God, my own connection with God, not somebody else's. I'm not going to use and abuse Jesus for his connection to God. I'm going to do what Jesus did and create my own, and I have. And that's how I get above you demonic ass people that want to go around throwing out judgment at everybody else while you're technically doing necromancy, reading things from people that are no longer alive, taking it completely out of context, and then trying to use that to spiritually abuse and harm another person. Like, judge not that you be not judged. Stop being hypocritical, bigoted, sinful person. How about that? Stop sinning yourself. Like, whoever is without sin can cast the first stone, except I'm not the one that will ever throw rocks at people because I'm not a crazy bitch. I'm not a crazy person. Okay, I don't believe in stoning people. I don't believe it's my job to judge people or to punish them. I'm like, God do that. I let God do what God's going to do, and I don't get in God's way. And anytime that anything comes through from my higher self, I let you guys know. So if you think that, again, there's no evidence in the Bible that tarot. Now, it does say not to go to false prophets, but I've never been proven to be false. And I don't speak bad things into creation. My messages never come through negative. So, I don't know. I can't say that for other people, who are in religious psychosis, who are listening to these prophets that are saying when the rapture is and people are going on Mount Everest and selling their homes and giving their shit away. I mean, literally, you guys, please think with your discernment. Use your discernment. You have no idea how God is using another person. And so literally stop judging other people. Point blank, period. Because you have no idea. God put me in this exact position so that I could reach people that would not have been reached. And I'm not turning people into Christians. I'm turning people to going within them, their own selves, accessing their own soul, their own higher self, their own divine connection, because that's what Jesus did. Jesus didn't have a Jesus to go to. There was no Messiah. He was the Messiah. And I'm glad that he took on that job, because I would never, ever have the patience to deal with people on a level that he could. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. All right. So anyways, enough of that. Please get out of the religious psychosis. If you don't like me, just go somewhere else where you can swallow that delusional poison, okay? And continue to poison your mind with that. But I'm a person of truth, and I will state things as they are, okay? You cannot, the person that wrote all of the stuff in the Bible, they're completely disregarding the book of Enoch. And anyways, they're not taking into consideration all the other stories. So, and that's all they are, is stories. All right. So let's get the likes up, you guys. Yes, we are all God's children. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, everybody's higher self is God. Once you realize that, you have completed your divine life purpose. Then everything else in your life will fall into place. If you love music, if you love dance, if you love teaching football to people, like whatever it is that's part of your destiny, once you realize who you are as a spiritual level, then everything else comes into play, and it just falls into place. And then while you're here, remembering that your higher self is God, that you are God, okay, that you are connected to God, and the more that you connect with God, the more in the fullness of God's loving, unconditional love, joy, compassion, and peace and mercy, the more that you grow into a being like Jesus was. All right, let's cut the deck and see what we got. So yeah, just be aware. Use your discernment, okay? Like I did when I was watching the UFO files, and I was like, oh, this is such bullshit. Two of Swords. This is so funny. Okay, so look, there's going to be people, you guys, that are in denial. Now, this is a very weird picture, to be quite honest. It does depict something in a very interesting way. See how she's blindfolded? There's nobody else in that picture but this one person. She's got two swords going this two different ways, and she's blindfolded. It talks about being in denial, having emotional pain, putting up blockers. I would say the Two of Swords is like the heart wall card. Somebody's heart is closed off from hearing the truth. They don't want to be let down. Okay, this could be family members you're dealing with. This could be people at work. This could be people in the general public being in denial. Okay. Inability to accept the reality of problems due to lack of insight into the situations that are causing them. Okay, every problem we experience, I don't care what it is, we are causing it because we create our realities with our thoughts and our beliefs. And we need to stop giving the power over to other people who are not creating our thoughts or beliefs. So just to let you guys know, if you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and then I'll answer your question. Okay, so this person is not moving forward, or people, because it does represent actually quite a few people that have this denial mentality. And also, when you're dealing with people that have problems, but they won't take action to resolve those problems, like there's some people that I just won't even bother with because I'm like, look, I'm not going to talk till I'm blue in the face for you still not to take the advice. And this, while throughout being a psychic my whole life, but especially since 2012, since I've been doing readings for people, that's one thing that annoys the shit out of me. If somebody asks me something and I tell them the truth of what is going to happen, they stay on the same path, they make the same choices, you know, keep doing the same things, you know, and then they don't listen to me because they think somehow that is not going to happen. And then it happens, then they come back and they want me to fix it. And I'm like, no, I already did fix it. I told you the answer. I literally gave you the cheat sheet. You know, you came for the cheat sheet. You wanted to know what's going to happen. And then you made the same choice. I said, probably don't make that choice. It is what it is, you know, and everybody has the right to make the choices that they want. But it bugs the shit out of me when people come back and want me to clean up the mess after I already told them the easy way out of the situation to make the better choice. Now, the one thing that can change the future is if so let's say that it comes through that you could have children in the future. Now, if you decide off of that information to go crazy and go get a hysterectomy or a vasectomy, well, it's still possible. I mean, especially with vasectomies, I've heard of them coming undone and people having children. But that would be like you taking, you know, severe action to stop that thing from coming true, right? So like we all have free will. We just have to choose what we want. And so, you know, these readings are to give you confirmation. They're to help you use your discernment so that when in real life situations, when it comes up, you can go, oh, okay, yeah, you know what, Astraea already talked about that. I don't have to believe in that. I don't have to do this behavior. I don't have to be around this. I don't have to tolerate that. Because I promise you this, everybody has the ability to draw the perfect situation into their own reality. Everybody. So these people that are in denial, you just kind of got to leave them where they're at until they decide to get out of denial, okay? Swimming uphill, up denial river, okay? You just got to kind of wait for them to get out of it. And, you know, I understand it can be very frustrating when you're dealing with parents, friends, family members, coworkers that are, you know, so stuck in this physical world that they can't see that everything is actually spiritual before it becomes physical, that they don't understand that there is something spiritual behind everything that's manifested as physical. And again, in the future, we will have science that will explain spirituality, how everything is energy. But right now, people think, oh, it's, I don't know what they think, but mystical power, like they're in denial, okay? Some people will deny the truth, deny until it comes in their reality and slaps them in the face. And if that's how these people have to have it happen for them to wake up and realize that they're not a victim to their reality, okay? And yes, we've all been hurt. Everybody's been traumatized at one point or another. Nobody's perfect. I don't expect anybody to be perfect or make perfect choices. But shit, when you get given the answer, and you go against that, then that's just stupidity to me. And then I don't want to clean up people's messes after they do that. But, I still do help people because that's what I'm here for. So yeah, these people, their method of resolving an issue is getting people to look at something else while they allow this issue to become a non-issue by allowing time to go by. That's all. It's a distraction. Okay, it's a distraction. What do they want? A lot of people want you to be miserable with them. A lot of people want you to be afraid. God is not a God of fear. Okay, Jesus was facing the worst execution, probably the worst way to die possible, and he was not afraid. Okay, and I know that none of us can be Jesus, but I'm just saying, like, God is not a God of fear. And so anybody wanting to buy into, oh, aliens are coming for whatever, like, okay, God is not a God of fear. I have seen real extraterrestrials, interacted with them and seen their spacecrafts, I've been with other people as well while this has happened. And they did not look like what they showed in the files. Let's just say that they released. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, the weird thing about this is that people, when you're in the Nine of Pentacles and you're stable, self-sufficient, you can stand on your own 2 feet. You don't, you're like not a crazy person. You don't need outside validation. You have a life of luxury because you probably save your money. You spend it on things that are actually necessary. I will tell you this, that people throughout history have feared any individual person that's not a part of the church, and that could be any church again. That's not a part of the this, the that. Okay, people that can stand on their own 2 feet, that do their own thing, that mind their own business. I've always been somebody that's been in the yard talking with and playing with fairies. I didn't care about hanging out with kids. I didn't want to play with toys. I would rather hang out with my fairies, okay? So that's how I was growing up. But, anytime that people throughout history, or they see that you can make your own medicine, they see that you can heal yourself. Oh my gosh, society hates that. They see that, how much shit I've gotten for being a woman and not being married with kids. It's like, not everybody has to do that. All right. But how much shit people like look at me and probably go, oh, what's wrong with her? Nothing is wrong. Well, things go wrong, obviously, in life sometimes, but nothing is inherently wrong with me because I don't want to be married and have children. That's the, point blank period. So society will always come for the people like you who can stand on your own 2 feet. Oh, you've planted a fairy garden. I love it. Oh my gosh. And you put codes for releasing trauma today. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. Yeah, so they always want to come and burn the witch or wizard, whatever. Again, you don't have to be a female for people to feel this way about you. It makes society nervous because they don't have a way to know every single thing that you're doing at all times, okay? And so they think that you could be doing something, I don't know what they're thinking, but they want to know what you're doing, okay? At all times. And they're in denial that you're probably over here just chilling, drinking a cup of tea, playing in the yard, whatever. Like, they're in denial about that because they feel like you have to be doing something nefarious to be able to support yourself or to be able to even be somebody that doesn't need a support system. Two of Pentacles. You probably receive messages from spirit guides, from heaven, from God directly. Now, God does not speak in a voice. Anything that's talking in a voice is not God, okay? Doesn't mean that it's something that's bad. I would always just, if you're hearing a voice and it's saying something negative, tell it to get the F out in the name of Jesus. Say it and don't listen to what it says, okay? But I will tell you this. You guys could be picking up a project that you put aside. You could be like in this mode of like, don't distract me off of what I'm here to do. Like I have finally figured out what I'm here to do. Now, all of a sudden, these people who are in denial, who want to say that you are not who you are, that do not know you, that don't even, because they're blindfolded. So how are they going to be able to see you correctly? These people who have blocked themselves. This is why you don't judge other people. The sun, because you get messages, your messages are of God. They're of the light. They help people heal their inner child. You could be working through a lot of inner child wounds at this time. Also, your personal magnetism is a high. It's like your energy. What that means is like you're magnetic. What you're pulling in is high vibrational. So I feel like you guys will get a mix of different things, but you know, for the most of all, whatever this project that you put aside, pick it back up, because it was only doubtful because you have people that are in denial that didn't want to support you. When you stop seeking outside validation, oh, you put unicorns in it too. I love unicorns. But yeah, when you stop seeking outside validation and you get it from your higher self, God, then it doesn't matter what anybody in this world tries to say or not say. It just doesn't come even close to being, you know, getting your confirmation from a divine source. 5 of Wands. And these people are in denial. First of all, the 5 of Wands is a insane energy in itself. It's all about competition. These people are like, be careful. Like, I'm so sick of people saying that. Now, if it's like the streets are slick, then there's a reason to say, oh, be careful if you're driving, it just rained, the streets are slick. That's one thing. But this is not that. These people see you doing your own thing and they're like, be careful, because that leads to the devil. Okay, in their mind, they don't know what the F they're talking about. They've not, whatever you're doing, they have never done before. How do they know it leads to the devil? And first of all, how in the hell would this person even know a devil if they came across it? That's another thing. So I feel like people will try to shoot you down when they see that you're a light worker because you're spreading the light to others. And they see that and they're just like, well, how can I compete with that? Oh, let me make them afraid. God is not a God of fear. When you know what you're here to do, enlighten others, bring peace, be happy, live a good life. And you start doing that and you do it without doubt. You do it without second guessing. You do it without, oh, I need to fear. Like, what is there to be afraid of other than people like this? They're probably the only thing to worry about. And I wouldn't even tell you to worry about them because God has got it handled. But these people, they want you afraid. They want you worried. They want you to denounce whatever it is that you're doing or saying and then bow down and kiss the fucking ground. I'm sorry, but no. Absolutely not. These people also are experiencing bad luck because they're in denial. So it's like they can't accept things about their own selves. That competition, greed, and lust for power. Okay, like let these people think what they want to think. Because I will tell you this, if they think that power comes from the devil, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. The devil cannot do anything for anyone. And it doesn't want to. It really doesn't, okay? It doesn't want to. Not in a positive way. These people want you to compete with the devil for what? What are we winning here? This is what I would say to these people. What are we winning here? What is this competition for? Because this person is trying to put obstacles in your way because they're in denial that you are who you say you are. And you're not your name, by the way. You're something so much more than that. But yeah, you're dealing with people who are living in fear. That believe that everything leads to the devil. It's all demonic. Okay. I'm going to use my discernment. I've definitely come across things that have been demonic before. I know what that energy is like. I know what it feels like. Okay. So I'll be the judge of that. I'll use my discernment when it comes to that. My gifts and abilities definitely will let me know if something is not right. But these people want you to be afraid of yourself. They're like, we have to cause that person to fear their own gifts so they don't use them. Like, what? What are you talking about? Fear our own gifts. 9 of Swords. And you're dealing with people who are in bed most of the time, depressed, and they're sleep deprived, trying to compete with you. This person needs you to like deny yourself, to deny Christ. Like these are the type of people that straight up Jesus come back with the holes in his hands and all that shit, and these people would still be like, I didn't know Jesus. Like, just complete denial. Okay, it's not making them a better person. These people thought that it was okay to like they thought that it was okay to like harass you, gang stalk you, bully you, push you around, be aggressive towards you, try to cause you suffering, try to cause you money issues. They just, thought that it was okay to deceive you. They just thought that that was okay because they didn't think that you were anything. That's the way they feel about themselves, though. They know that they're not shit. But this person and these people are now realizing that they have caused an innocent person that was not doing anything to anybody a lot of harm and pain and a lot of grief and anguish. And these people think that this shit's funny. It's not going to be funny when it's done to them, because what you do to another will be done to you. You cannot hurt another person without hurting yourself. You can't. And the more that you treat others how you want to be treated, the more that you'll get treated well. That's in general. So I feel like all people can be redeemed if they go within and change their lives. What else do we need to know? Ace of Pentacles. Be aware of somebody wanting to pull you off your path because they see that God is giving you a blessing. Okay? Because these people are not going in the right direction. Having deep regret over something that they've done. To me, I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even want to know what they've done other than tried to deceive us. Well, that didn't work. This is telling you the project that you're picking back up, to invest in it. God's going to make sure that success comes through it. It will grow. It will prosper. Trust in your own instincts and ideas. Others will help if you need the help, but I feel like a lot of you can do this on your own. Well, you're not on your own. You got God, but still, you can rely on your friends and family for support. Okay. These people, are they friends or family? No. These are probably just random ass haters in the neighborhood, on the internet, whatever, at school, whatever it is, like at work, they're random ass haters. These people are not happy with their lives. They're living in denial. They don't do anything by the book, whatever book that is that they worship from. Knight of Wands. I truly feel like there is somebody that really, 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 wants to have sex. They look at you and they're like, damn, that person is so attractive. And you're just not into that with this person. Okay. This Knight of Wands energy. Not that they're a bad person. It's just that you don't want to just be in a relation to have sex. Let somebody come in and abuse your body, beat it up from the inside and out, and attach cords to it and demons to it. You're just not into that. And it's okay. This Knight of Wands goes through having sex with a lot of people. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's their lifestyle. It's not your lifestyle. Wheel of Fortune. And they're hoping that they can get lucky off of your energy. This is why I tell you guys to be aware of who you are sleeping with, because sex is a portal. Well, creating children's is a portal, So the Wheel of Fortune talks about your fate. Now, I will tell you this. Let's get the likes up, you guys. When you get in to your destiny and your fate and you're in your purpose, this is when people will get the most upset. And it could be a low vibrational energy that they're under the influence of, but most of it is that they don't feel like they have something for them. And that's because they want to go around, doing this other stuff, which we're not judging. Okay. I'm not judging anybody that's suffering with addiction, that's drinking. I'm not judging that. But I will tell you that drinking and drugging and having orgies is not part of a divine life purpose for anyone. So this person resents you because you are getting on the right path. You're accessing a turning point in your life to where you now have access to infinite wisdom, infinite guidance, infinite energy. And this other person, they want access, okay? They want access. And I'm telling you this right now, that you guys are so divinely protected that even if, and God forbid that you would have sex with this person, but even if you did, they're not going to get access to your energy like that. Okay. They're not going to be able to sacrifice you through sex, harvest your energy, none of that. Right. All of that stuff is over. And you guys are too smart for that anyways. I also feel like that you need to know that a better future is coming from whatever was in the past. There's somebody that's definitely grieving that they didn't choose you or that they didn't make the better choice, which would probably be to choose them first. These people need to love themselves. 3 of Pentacles. But they want to be a part of your community so bad so they can slither their little snake ass in and sit at the table that God prepared for you in the presence of this weird person. And no, you didn't invite a serpent to come sit next to you. It's giving like Last Supper energy. The Last Supper wasn't even added into Christian mythology until the medieval period. And by the way, tables weren't around until the medieval period. So there was no Last Supper. That's when the Holy Grail and all of that came about. And in the Middle East, where Jesus was actually from, they sat on the ground. They did not use tables. They didn't even have chairs. So business partnership could be tied to your Wheel of Fortune, but I feel like your Wheel of Fortune, this is people coming in to support you. 6 of Swords. And you have somebody that is swimming uphill in denial. They've jumped in that boat. They've gotten in denial and they're going up the denial in denial. Okay. This person is possibly going through a spiritual court case because they tried to come for you and didn't have a legitimate reason, and you are very protected. Yeah, and this person also doesn't feel like they can cope with day-to-day problems. They feel completely drained, and they would rather just have some of your energy to keep them going. 4 of Swords, because they're a lack of energy. The 4 of Swords is like a personal battle ending, God forbid. I mean, that's a casket right there, and that's a church window. And so anyways, but yeah, it's somebody that has to like lay down their swords, okay? Because they can't fight any longer. And somebody could have been thinking that they were fighting against you, and they were not. They were fighting against your spiritual team. Also, this Knight of Wands energy, you guys, be aware of them. They are a predator. I don't like their vibe, and they also are afraid to be alone. This person is afraid of being alone. That's like one of their greatest fears. That's why they have SCX with a lot of people. And if this person could just love themselves and learn to stand their own company, like being in their own company, their life would feel so much less anxious. But this Knight of Wands is like afraid. They are afraid of being alone. And they don't have a main person right now to be with them continuously, to coddle them like a little child. So they don't like the fact that you are okay with being on your own. That makes them, they're like, why can't I be like that? They can. It comes from a place of loving the self. There was a time when I literally felt that way, where I didn't want to be alone. Now I love being alone. You know, it's a learning process. You just have to learn how to be alone. And know that you're not really ever alone. Like your guides, God is always within you. So there is no real being alone. But yeah, when I was like younger, I used to be afraid of being alone, the whole concept, until I had so much abuse that I was like, huh, being alone is gonna be better than this crap. And it was. 10 of Cups. I used to live in a place that was so freaking haunted that if I tried to even do the dishes at any point, shit would start moving around on its own and things would start happening and I would be put into total fear. Okay. So I know what it's like to go through that type of stuff. 10 of Cups. You have a happily ever after here. You have a family that, you know, is going to be loving and supportive. If you want children, like I said, that could be in the cards for you. It's what you decide. You can just know this. You can make your family up of whoever you want it to be. It doesn't, I mean, we all have, well, everybody has a mother and father, whether they're alive or not is irrelevant. We all have that type of family, right? But the family that you create, like children, spouse, okay, that's one of your making. So you don't have to model it after whatever you were raised in, all right? Especially if it was an abusive situation. Now, if you were raised in a perfect household, I'm happy for you, okay? Then you have you have already instilled within you the things that you need to make a successful family relationship. But I feel like, you know, this 10 of Cups talks about great friends, a special love relationship, having someone make a commitment to you, making a commitment to another person. I mean, that's a big deal. Well, for me, that's a real big deal, making a commitment, right? Forgiveness and reconciliation. You guys could be reconciling with family members, with friends, with people, and you just need to know that if you reconcile, you forgive somebody and you choose to reconcile with them, do not expect them to be a different person than they were when you were upset with them. Okay? Because we can't control other people. So taking the expectations out of it is probably going to make the relationship last longer. Yeah, you guys could also be gathering all of the material possessions that you need to purchase a home or to build one. Okay. And this could be something that's happening in the future as well. But I feel like, you know, you may discover that you want to live in the mountains. You may discover that you want to live in the city, that you want to switch it up, right? And you have like I will always tell you, I'm a supporter of people. Everybody has the right to change their mind at any given point, okay? But, you know, these people on TV, they push an agenda. When they go to switching it up and, oh, they don't have a real brain. They're just afraid of losing followers. That's it. That's it. That's what they fear. That is so delusional to me. Oh my gosh. I guess maybe because they're used to being liked. I'm used to people not liking me. So if I feel like if I lose people that don't like me, that's not a loss. Okay? When you can stand on your own 2 feet and you're not afraid to cut somebody off or to lose them and you don't feel needy, like you have to be around them and have to be constantly texting or whatever with them, it's like your life becomes about you and it doesn't become about being that need feeling. And I know, and I understand the need feeling because like I said, when I was younger, I felt that way because I was terrified. No, I was adopted. Nobody told me that I had these abilities. Nobody told me, and I was seeing shit all of the time and having crazy experiences. And so nobody told me, oh, until I met at least one side of my birth family. Then they were like, yeah, we're all psychics and healers. And then I learned about the other side of my family, which is the exact same thing. So and then they're like, this is why the aliens came to you, because the aliens came to us. And yeah, I remember when my grandma, and bless her soul, she's crossed over now, she would sit there and talk about the Pleiadians, and she had a lot of them around her all the time. And then she would tell me about how my birth mother was like, this is an alien's baby, like saying all of this stuff. And people thought she was crazy, but she wasn't crazy. Not at all. She just came from Africa, and over there, abduction is a normal thing. It happens all of the time. Alien abduction, by the way. Page of Swords. Okay, this is hilarious. Anytime the Page of Swords comes up, it's about monitoring, watching, spying, all of that. Somebody is astonished. They're like, how did they do it? How did they reach their goal? How do they, I feel like whoever this person is, this Knight of Wands, first of all, they misjudged you. Secondly, they're watching you with the intention of trying to slither in and sit at your table. They're not going to do that. Okay, God didn't set a table for them for a reason. And I feel like this person thinks that, oh, they have the best sex, and they don't. They don't last long in bed. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying their sex is not, it's not highly ranked. This person is watching you going like, well, maybe if I just copy what they've done, then I'll be able to be okay. It's about finding your own path. This person doesn't need to do what you do. They need to do what they're here to do, find their own path. King of Swords. But when you're dealing with people who are afraid of everybody, demonizing everything is witchcraft, everything is the devil. Not everything is witchcraft and the devil, okay? This person, though, is afraid of being judged. Confirmation. They're afraid of others judging them. Completely understandable. I understand that. But I will tell you this, that they're pulling that into their reality to be judged. And they also tried to sick somebody on you, like have this judge watch you to see if you're doing something that they can catch you up for. Okay. They want to continue to waste their time. And this King of Swords is looking at the Knight of Wands like, are you okay, bro? Like, do you need help? Do you need something? Two of Cups. Because there's nothing that the collective is doing that's not in alignment with their soul contract with the universe. Talks about a new love affair. This could be in your job as well. Like not having a love affair at your job with a person, but you falling in love with a new career. And then it also talks about a spiritual contract. A broken relationship is healed through forgiveness. You could be working something out with someone. Hey, if somebody's willing to work it out with you and they're willing to put in that effort, go for it. I feel like forgiveness and peace is a beautiful thing. But, don't forget what people have done. I have the ability to see people's lifetimes and I remember them. So if I had with such person 10,000 lifetimes and every single one except for 2 they betrayed me, then I know that most likely they're going to try to betray me. And that's how I avoid a lot of problems, because I know people by their spirit, not by who they are in this life. And if you look a little bit deeper, you'll be able to see that about other people. Okay. This King of Swords is like my hands are tied. I can't really do anything about the collective. Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, look, you guys have had to defend yourselves. Oh, yeah. So this King of Swords is saying, yeah, all the stuff that the Knight of Wands was telling them looks to be inaccurate. Yeah. When you've been through a lot of conflict and sorrow, you're just not as willing to sit around and put up with the bullshit. And so that's what these people are figuring out, that you're not a game player. You're not going to just eat up whatever they put out. And that's okay. I mean, somebody wants to like scrub you off the internet, erase you as a person, demonetize you, all of that for whatever reason, because you don't want to believe their lies. Well, when you can see the truth, it makes it really hard to believe lies. That's all I can say. The Star. Wow, I'll pick up that other card in a second. There's enough to cover up her body. The star. This is the new age of Aquarius. You know, you're protecting your star energy. This is your time to shine. It's not anybody else's time to shine when it comes to your destiny. This is yours. Oh, thank you. I love that. Oh my gosh, that was so cute. Oh, I love that so much. And it was a cake. Thank you for that. So this Ace of Wands in the reverse is these people's energy. I feel like, you know, they're feeling exhausted, low energy, lethargy, mental dullness. They've spent too much time trying to study you. They're over involved and need to choose between too many commitments. I don't feel like these people are the worst people in the world. I just feel like they need to figure out what's going to make them happy, and stop thinking that what's making you happy is going to make them happy. These people are not meant to be in the energy of the star, making a dramatic change on the public. They're just not. They have a loss. The Ace of Wands in the reverse is one of two cards out of the whole deck that are destiny swipe cards, like a fail of that. The other one is the Four of Cups. But yeah, it's loss of enthusiasm in the very things that have always made you happy. This is why these people have forgotten, you know? They need to heal that inner child. You could be bringing light to their inner child and they're like, oh, freaking out because they haven't allowed themselves to, they haven't engaged with their little child self. You know, we all have that within our solar plexus. But these people don't understand that money does not equal happiness. You cannot purchase happiness with money. And if you could, then people would be doing that. But there's a lot of wealthy people that are unhappy. So happiness comes from your own connection. It comes from you doing things that you like, loving yourself, and establishing a life that's worth living. Okay, it's not ever going to come from another person. I mean, you can be with somebody and they can make you happier, but your own happiness level should never rely on anybody else. And this is what in the Nine of Pentacles, I see you have already figured this out. That your happiness comes from within. It comes from God. My cup runneth over type energy. And so, yeah, there's gonna be a few people that are looking at you like that person could make me so happy. But no, this is from an energetic level basis. These other people, they want your energy. They want this star because they don't have one. Or if they have one, for whatever reason, the devil took it from them. That's like literally what I'm getting. So I don't know what these people are into, but yeah, they don't have the star energy. They don't have a talent. They don't have, dreams for the future. And this is why they need to go within, do some introspection, find what's going to make them happy, and then stop projecting onto you. And this King of Swords thought that they were going to be able to judge you and whatever. And they are looking at you and they're not seeing any type of fault. Like, they're like, we can't judge this person because they're in their destiny happy moving forward. Like, we've already tried to silence them. We've already tried to erase them on the internet. We've already tried to block everything that they do. We've already tried to talk down on it and demonize it. These people have ran out of options and now they don't have any energy to do anything else. The Queen of Pentacles. Hold on one second. Let me get rid of this weird demonic person. Give me 1 second. Okay, I thought that I already blocked this person who is delusional, thinking that the devil makes a list. You're funny, dude. That's hilarious. I'm going to report you for being a psychopath again. The devil got you on his list. You are retarded. Oh my God, that's so funny. What do you think, the devil is like fucking Santa? Are you talking about Krampus? Krampus is a personal friend of mine, by the way. So I would definitely when it comes to me, maybe you can get away with that shit to other people, but when it comes to me, go talk to the devil about me, okay? Get off my platform. An idiot. Anyways, sorry about that, you guys. I was like, I just wrote down that same username and I removed them. How did they come back? I'm not for sure. I'll have to have a talk with YouTube about that. But yeah. I had one person that harassed me on this platform. I wrote their name down. Then on my other platform, they came to that one. I'm like, dude, y'all don't have shit to do. Like, you have nothing to do with your time. Like, go clean your house. What the hell? Why are you harassing me on both platforms? Look, the Queen of Pentacles is what came out before I had to pause and just fix my chakras with that. You're on the devil's list. What the fuck does that mean? The devil doesn't, a list of what? I've not signed my soul over to no devil. Like, what are people talking about? Okay, rising above that. Whatever that was about. And these people that talk so much shit need to really be careful, okay? Because Krampus, you know, the twin of Santa, the dark twin of Santa. If you don't know about Krampus, oh my gosh, you guys have got to do a YouTube video on Krampus. Every year in the Netherlands, they have Krampusnacht, which is like Krampus night, okay? It happens at the beginning of December. Anyways, the people in the towns, they dress up like this Krampus demon, and they go through the streets with like, it's such a performance, you guys. You'll love it. You'll love it. But anyways, they terrorize the shit out of the kids, and they make these costumes that they pass down through the generations, and then every Krampus night, people go out and they do this huge parade to make the children afraid. Crazy. So the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, that's your energy of you being able to connect with people on a very like intimate level, but also on a very down to earth level. Okay. So I feel I'm a big advocate when it comes to bringing people to your vibration, but I feel like you guys have the ability to connect with people where they're at, and there's a commonality between you and others. You help other people when they're in need. When you get that nudge to help, you do. Okay. And that's literally following what God is wanting you to do. If you get a nudge to help, help. If you get a nudge not to help, don't help. That's listening to your discernment. Okay. Your body will always give you a sign. If you're about to go somewhere and your stomach starts to turn into knots, don't go. Okay. And again, there could be something physical going on, but I will tell you this, your body keeps the score. There's a book that's called that, and it will let you know if something is not for your highest and best good. The Seven of Swords is these people are trying to run away from, like, they're being sneaky and they want to trick someone. And that's the whole thing about lying. They're running away from making a decision. Their selfish choices are bringing about dishonor and shame upon them. And like literally the spiritual realm is actually coming down on this person. I don't see that very often. I mean, I see the karma, what you send out comes back type energy, but this is like actually spiritual beings really coming down on this person. And I think it's because they don't belong in your life. And this person desperately thinks that you are the answer to their happiness. But if for this person to be like, they have, okay, the cup runneth over thing. You have a cup runneth over within yourself. Your cup is always filled. This person's got a cup with a huge hole in it. If you started to feed into them to fill their cup, then your cup wouldn't be overflowing anymore. And that's what this person wants. And this is why the spiritual realm is like really telling them to back out of your energy and to retreat. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Because you've got somebody that, and this is giving ex-husband vibes, ex-wife vibes. It's giving that. Like this person wants you to drop everything that you're doing and then serve them like some type of slave. In what world? They want you to quit and abandon the work that you're doing. These people are cheaters. They're liars. They deceive people. They're not honest people. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse talks about dishonesty in business. These people have a bad reputation. Their long-term, their short-term and long-term goals are FUCKED. And then they're extremely short-sighted. No ability to look into the future to see, oh, if I make this action, if I take this choice today, what's going to come of that? These people, there's something mentally wrong with them to where they can't think, like have a conscience, be like, oh, what's going to happen later if I do that? If I embezzle $600,000 and money launder it, etc., what's going to happen in the future? They're not thinking that. Careless spending, very short-sighted energy. It straight up says for these people that they need to look into the future. I feel like if they were to look into the future, they probably wouldn't see the right thing. They would miss what's actually there. And they would probably get some information that they're not going to be happy with. These people, their business partnership is in conflict, not yours. And you're not going to fix their conflict. These people are running away from making a choice. Okay, what else do we need to know before we go? Also, with the whole lying and dishonesty in business and being deceptive, okay, like I said, you guys are very intuitive people. You also have been hurt so many times that you know how to sense when somebody is on stupid shit. Like you, and I'm not talking about substances. I'm talking about on being deceitful, dishonest, lying, betraying, hoodwinking, trickery, backdooring someone. Like you'll never fall for whatever this stupid shit is. And you're not going to give your energy away to people who literally, oh my God, really? The Eight of Cups in the reverse. You're not going to give your energy or your time or your devotion away to people who are just going to suck it up and then never be full themselves and not take your advice. Eight of Cups in the reverse. These people are stupid. They screw everybody else over in business, just to let you know, because they have a relentless pursuit of money and they're obsessed with the material world, okay? Financial problems, loss of values. These people never had values. They need to examine and change their goals in life. A new love or rekindled romance is just an illusion of happiness. This person doesn't want you to reunite with somebody from your past. Okay, that like it looks like this is like maybe somebody from a past life you're reuniting and healing with. This person, they're not coming anywhere near you. Yeah, a new love or rekindled romance may just be an illusion of happiness. Like I said, these people think that you are their happiness, that because you're happy, you can make them happy. No. These people need to be the cause of their own happiness. Okay? And that's part of the illusion. It says it right there on the card. And they lose something real and enduring if they chase this illusion of happiness. Okay? I mean, it's possible to be happy and to be in rags and to not have shit in your life. It is 100% possible. And money will not make them happy either. Get in touch with core values. These people are screwing people over in business, committing crimes, all for the love of money, just to find out that they're not going to be happy whether they have money or not have money. Because happiness comes from within. It doesn't come from... I mean, you could buy a new car and be happy about that, but that's not what real happiness is. Being happy is being able to be with yourself, being able to sit with yourself, being able to go outside and take a walk and look around nature and feel connected. Like being a happy person. Now, again, everybody's going to have things that go on in their life that's an up and down, but being a happy person has more to do with you connecting with your own self and going within and loving yourself than it does with anybody else. Okay, so just to let you know, the money is not going to be the answer to happiness. Okay, these people, let them be foolish enough to continue to chase money. And what they're not going to do is touch yours. These people are wannabes. Wannabes, and they don't want to walk away. The Fool. The Fool's not a bad card, but I do pick it up that these people are being foolish with their relentless pursuit of money here. Why don't they just go get a freaking regular job or a business and then sell something that people want? I mean, literally, why do they have to go around scamming, cheating, lying, deceiving, breaking people? Like, what is that? Obviously, that's steal, kill, grape, unalive, and destroy. That's what the devil does. So, it straight up says that on the Fool card, the soul of an entrepreneur. These people need to do something that's for them and stop trying to copy you. They're not going to be rewarded for doing what God is rewarding you for. And they don't have the skill set necessary. And if sleeping with you is not going to get them access to your star energy. We cancel and rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Anybody wanting to do anything dishonest to us, sleep with us, take our star, whatever their delusional stuff is. Ace of Cups, because look, yeah, you're at peace. You protect that peace. God protects it. Your cup runneth over. Yes, you will know them by their fruits. Exactly. Your cup runneth over. This is what these people see, that God loves you. And they just like, oh, let me get a piece of that love. Now, you could create a body of work. You could create a book. You could create a movie. You could create a song. You could create, a poem, anything, a piece of art that could definitely inspire them to look within a little bit more and be happy. But it's not your job to fix these people. Okay. You didn't break them. You didn't raise these people. Even if you raised them, which you didn't, it still wouldn't be your job to fix them. That's their responsibility. These people don't feel loved by God because they don't do anything to connect with God. They don't do anything that's in alignment. I mean, these people, if these people were around you and you put on gospel music, they would lose their shit. They would lose their mind. They would have to tell you that you're wrong and to turn it off, because they can't, anything that has to do with God is like nails on a chalkboard to these people. And when you have the love of God flowing through you like Jesus did, and you're sharing that with the world, people get upset. They don't feel special anymore. 5 of Cups. They live in regret. They live in the past. Loss of possessions. They're only sad because they're losing shit. They shouldn't have gambled, though. They're losing a love relationship as well. I highly doubt that any of these people we're talking about have the capability to truly love another person. They don't love themselves. So again, their relationships are going to be very short term. And these people need to figure out how to get along with themselves. Yeah, they do. They probably lost a value. If they lost you, yes, they lost a valued possession, but them trying to possess you in the first place is psychotic. They don't own you. I don't care if this was somebody that was a parent. They don't own you. God owns you. You belong to God, not these people. And you can share your love that God's given you with others. But again, if these people have a hole in their cup, they need to go, before they come wanting the advice and the guidance and the love from you, they need to go fix the hole in their cup so that they can withstand and hold the energy of God within. King of Pentacles. No, these people, they don't give a shit about that. They care about money, 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 money. How can we get the collective to sell their soul? You're not going to. You don't have to. You're blessed without having to do anything like that. Okay? And you don't care about having the best clothes, the best car. Like, you're not showboating. I can't stand people that are like that. So annoying. You're not making any deal with these people. And they can't force you. The Hierophant. They can't force you, not with religion, not with witchcraft, not with rules. I'm serious. I am serious. They cannot force you to believe their bullshit. Nobody's believing this stuff. We know what this is. This is a setup sacrifice. These people want to set you up to sacrifice you. We already know that because they want this love that comes from God. But them hurting a child of God is not going to get them loved by God and the Holy Spirit. Okay? I'm serious. It's not. I feel like you're dealing with a group of people who are very stupid. They don't realize that the times have changed and that what went in the past will never go again. And anybody trying to do it will be severely punished by their own karma. Literally, 8 of Wands, crossroads sacrifice. These people are going to be at the crossroads with some type of bullshit, and this entity that they're working with will not ever come not near you, not nigh thy dwelling. Doesn't want you, doesn't even want these people. If I were these people, I would leave whatever the hell this shit is alone. Literally, because it's unnecessary. Magician, but they can't keep their hand out of the magic pot. I'm serious. These people are like, how are they able to still stand on their feet? How are they standing in their power? How are they so connected? What do you mean, how are they so connected? God is how. These people are mistaking what God is doing in your life for you having a wand and bippity boppity booping it. And that's not even possible. But these people worship the devil in some form. So that's what they think. That's what they think you're doing. But they're about to find out that not. That literally the devil bows down to you. These people need to be really careful. Like that person that was like, you're on the devil's list. They don't know what they're talking about. They need to be very careful because what that is going to happen to them next, they're not going to like it. Okay. Weirdos. The Tower, like I said, not going to like it. The Tower is like a natural disaster. It's being struck down, okay? Misery, grief over a broken relationship. This seems like a broken relationship. You're not healing anything with this person. You've already healed the relationship with your higher self, God. You're moving forward. If this person wants to be a part of your life, they need to get on your level, but they can't because they still believe in the old way. Well, whatever. They're going to be sitting around waiting forever for some shit that's not going to happen. And they're like, oh, well, we can just overpower them with magic. No, you can't. I don't know who told them that. Maybe they believe that, oh, we'll just use the Bible on them. Okay, well, that shit will backfire. Keep trying to use the Bible on people to sacrifice them to the devil that don't even make any sense. Oh, thank you for that. I love that little flag. That was so cute. King of Cups. So look, you guys are wise people. You have good guidance. You also probably have access to somebody who is balanced, okay? And this could be why you're able to stay so calm. Yeah, also, you're very trustworthy. Another reason why you are so gifted. And you have this star ability is you're trusted. Anything else we need to know? This Hierophant group could be a cult, a coven, a secret society, a religion. Let me just ask a question. Did the collective walk away from this Hierophant group? No. This Hierophant group hasn't even approached you to join their stuff because they know that you would never do that. Maybe that was not even part of their plan. Either way, they're in the Tower. 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is it being imprisoned. My goodness. Literally being imprisoned. But it could be spiritual prison. Yeah, you're doing the right thing by protecting yourself, okay? You could have been thinking, oh, is this too extreme? Do I really need to do that? No. If you're being guided to do something to protect your energy, do it, okay? Because these people are sharks. Queen of Cups. And they think that you're like some easily stepped upon person. They think that you're weak. You're not, though. You're balanced. It's a difference. And you're also careful with money. These people want to come in and spend up everything that you have. Okay? Like, they've got a very slave mindset. Like, they would like you as a slave. Real weird. Okay, let's get a conclusion. Is there anything else that we need to know about this situation before we go? Obviously, we know why they're targeting the collective, but it's for foolishness. So what do they need to know about moving forward in peace? Yeah, the world. Like, the world is the peace card, pretty much out of all of them. I would say the Ace of Cups in the world. And sorry I have to cover up her boobies, but YouTube has its policies. So look, things are all going to fall into the right. I'm seeing Tetris, when the things come down and then you arrange them so that it all fits in perfectly. That's what I'm seeing with your life is about to happen. And you could have an unexpected sum of money come your way, like getting approved for a loan, inheriting a piece of property, getting invited on a vacation, winning in a stock. So, I mean, it could be anything. It could also be you creating a new business, starting a new job that brings in a whole lot of new money. And you having a sense of fulfillment because whatever you're doing is serving the public, or it's helping the less fortunate, or it's helping people in general. And so, yeah, you could be getting ready to change your residence or job. These people, they don't want you moving away. Okay. I don't know why they're so weird about that, but you can move wherever you want. Always do research and go visit that place before you go there, before you move. But yeah, you're going to have a lot of peace from helping the less fortunate. Whatever you give will be returned to you many times over. Trust and know that. Okay. That's how karma and all of that, if you want to call it karma, if you want to call it the law of attraction, that's how it works. These people, they are still in denial. So forgive them. The Chariot and the freaking Eight of Swords, these people are going to jail for something illegal that they're doing. Wow. Probably cheating people in business. That's probably one thing that they're doing. They're lying and deceiving and cheating people and hurting people. Okay. And then look, this is what you're doing. You're here to clean up the mess that these people have made. Not directly, but indirectly through the work that you do. So I don't feel like you have anything to fear. These people do. Five of Pentacles. I don't even know why they would be worried about having money for a home when they're going to jail. The hell. Or they're going to hell. But seriously, the Five of Pentacles is being casted away, a religious institution kicking somebody out. You see that church window right there? It's like in the dead set of winter. These people are acting like the worst things happening to them. Well, they shouldn't have gone to the crossroads with the sacrifice. Even the person in this Hierophant group would have told all these people that that was a bad idea. Okay. Especially if these people are Christians, what are they going to the freaking crossroads to sacrifice anything for? What in the hell is that? And their relentless pursuit of money and only money is going to leave, like, they have a void within them that they can't fill. Only God could fill that. Only God could fix that. Okay. It's not your job. These people are not even doing the correct work to make money. So it's not your job to fill them up in any way. That's their job. But, I'm not judging these people. I feel like be compassionate with them, but still guard yourself. Obviously, don't let these people know where you live. Don't let them know where you're going. Don't even let them know where you came from. Be the example. Let these people learn from you by them watching you, because that's what they're going to do, being weirdos. Let them watch you and then learn from you being the example. Okay. You don't have to take on what these people have going on, and you're definitely not fighting anybody's court case for them. I'm serious. And these people, once they forgive themselves for what they were trying to do to you and get out of denial, things will change for them. Hurt people, break the cycle. I love that. Thank you for saying that. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you guys like the next. I love the Tetris game as well. Okay, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. So if you're interested in the books that I have listed in, well, I have them tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. So like I said at the beginning of the reading, I would take a little bit of time at the end to talk about the books really quick, okay? So for those of you that don't want to stay for that, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me. Please like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. All of that stuff really helps. Hit that hype button if you see it. I know sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Leave a comment. All right, so The Truth of God is an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael STEADMAN. At the beginning of this reading, I read the back of the book and I read the different chapters to you, but now I'm going to talk about the techniques that I use on a day-to-day basis, and I've been using these techniques for 10 years, okay, with success. So this is me throwing you guys a bone, because a lot of people are like, how do you do what you do? Well, I have abilities, and then I use the techniques from this book to give me clarity, so I don't have to seek outside confirmation and validation. Before I had access to the truth of God, I would go get tarot readings from people, and Vassago, we'll be talking about in the next book, would be telling me that the people didn't know what they were talking about. So The Truth of God is an evolutionary book, okay? I just opened it to page 47. It says, God is the supreme consciousness, the highest self of all creation, with no form, and yet encompassing all that there is. In that supreme consciousness, all one, not separate. I'm not implying that you are conscious of is the all embodiment of God, but God no less. When we look at ourselves as anything less, we are doing ourselves a great injustice. I will refer to you and God synonymously. It is a journey of first recognizing our true self as God in the illusion, and then becoming more and more of our fullness through the process of experiencing our true qualities: unconditional love, joy, compassion, mercy, and peace, acting as if it was already done. So the God technique gives you the ability. Oh, I'm glad that you guys like the background. Thank you for that. The God technique I use every day. So it gives you the ability to connect with God's consciousness within yourself. And to me, this is how I explain how it feels. When I go within and I'm doing the God technique, it's like an elevator ride of my consciousness from where my ego's at to God's consciousness. Then once I get there and I'm looking out through the eyes of God, everything becomes really, really clear, like extremely clear. So it's a change in vibration, change in consciousness, and it activates your DNA. It does so many different things, because I've been using it for 10 years. And it still is, like when I go in to connect, okay, it's still, it's like a muscle that once you have that muscle and you can start using that, then the more that you use it, the stronger it gets, right? That's my experience. So it still is an elevator ride, but, and I wish I could stay in God consciousness state all the time, but we have things of this world that we have to come down and focus on, with our minds. The more that you connect with your God self, your higher self, the more of that peace, unconditional love, joy, compassion, mercy, energy will flow through you. The more that you will become more God-like, okay? All right, so the second technique in this book, oh my gosh, that I use every day is the joy versus anger technique. Now, the joy versus anger technique, the person that made this book is a genius, by the way. It works on clairsentience, which is a gut feeling. That's the gift that everybody has, like a gut response, like good or bad. And so when you start using that as a muscle, then you start asking, because your higher self, God, always knows what's in alignment with you, what's in alignment with you, okay, your real self, and what's not. And so when you start asking yes and no questions, now I don't waste money, because I ask, should I buy it? If I get a no, I don't buy it. And I've gone against getting the answer, asking the question, you're asking your higher self, God. So it's not anything outside of you. You ask the question, you get the answer. Now, this has happened to me before. I want to go to a concert, or I want to go somewhere, and it says no. Then I go, oh, why does it say no? I want to go. So the next technique I'm going to talk about is the 1 to 10 ratio. So when I get told no and I'm like, but I want to go, okay, then I look at the compatibility of the situation. So this book will teach you how to get compatibility on any subject, with 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. And then in between there is your compatibility, right? You'll figure out what number it is. It'll teach you how to do that. Once you're at that point and you figure out what number it's at, then you can start asking questions, more questions. If you want to know why the compatibility is what it is, you can start asking more questions, yes and no questions, getting those answers. And then if you use the mind technique, which is the one that I'm going to go into next, because I've done this before. I got incompatibility on something, it's low compatible, then I clear a bunch of stuff, get rid of thoughts and beliefs, and rise above things, and then the reality shifts and the compatibility number changes. And then I can make a decision whether I want to experience it or not. So the mind technique gives you the ability to clear the thoughts and beliefs that are hindering you, that are influencing and creating the reality that you're experiencing. Okay. And it's a very powerful thing. Like to me, when I read the stuff in this book, I was like, okay, I'm going to try it, but I was kind of doubtful. I didn't know. I definitely, because this book definitely doesn't tell you like, hey, if you clear these thoughts and beliefs that you have, you're going to shift into a new dimension, a completely different reality. Like, it doesn't tell you that, but that's what happens. That's what has happened to me multiple times when I get rid of thoughts and beliefs. And then when I'm doing the preemptive strike is when you have thoughts and beliefs on a subject that are not good for you, like, I'm not thin enough, like anything, it could be anything. And then you write them down, then you go through and you manually, take control of the mind. You're like, I am going, and you clear it, you use the mind technique. Then you go, okay, all of that stuff, when you use the mind technique, you take the garbage out, right? You're throwing all those thoughts and beliefs that are not creating the reality that you want into the garbage, okay? And so don't go back to the garbage and dig those thoughts and beliefs out. Okay, after you do the mind technique, I would work with affirmation to get your mind moving in a new direction. So this is the truth of God. There's so many other things, like this will teach you how to meditate, multiple different types of meditation, talks about prayer. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to read the part that talks about prayer. So throughout recorded Western time that we are aware of, there has been a form of communication with God that has been used to beseech guidance and assistance. Prayer as it has come to be known, can be done inwardly or outwardly. I save this for the last because in a lot of cases, it is used for favor. Would you, God, do this for me or them, bless them, protect them, smite them, etc. Looking outside of themselves for their requests to be granted. God is not a freaking genie, by the way, just to let you guys know. Many of the religious doctrines in the world will allude to the temple of God lies within. This has given a good direction to look for God, but misses the target. The oneness that is spoken of by many peoples, the Father and I are one, as Christ said, all things are one, is saying that God is here and now. Me, you, the blade of grass, that grain of sand are all God having this experience. Prayer, when utilized in its most positive form, can be a very useful tool. When we focus on something that makes us feel good, no matter what the words are that we spoke or thought, we create a moment where we are not focusing on something that's negative, which usually doesn't feel good. This is once again how creation works. This allows our natural state, joy, unconditional love, and peace to flow into our creation, and with it, those things that match our frequency at that time. It might be to help with a request just asked if it is a match. Anytime that prayers used like that, whether to bless the food before eating or any other situation that might call for prayer in someone's mind, I see it as a good excuse to raise your frequency, which is what's happening. We will discuss this to a greater extent in later chapters. So that gives you a taste of how it breaks it down in such a simple way, you guys. Okay, so that is tagged in the products, linked in the description box below. The Truth of God by Michael STEADMAN. I suggest that you guys get it. Wow, it always does that, where it just cuts out. The second book I'm going to be talking about, and if you guys have questions, make sure you come in at the beginning of the reading. Send me a $20 super chat with your question, and then I'll pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. So the second book I'm going to be talking about, this is for those of you that are interested in learning to read cards for yourself and for others, okay? So I have written this book. It is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, and we're actually going to use it today. Okay, so I wrote this book off of the original Rider-Waite Tarot, which is what we use on this platform. I have tagged in the products this book and the original Rider-Waite. This is called the Quick and Easy Rider-Waite Tarot because it's got the description on the cards, which means you don't have to flip through another like book, okay? It's just already on the card, which I absolutely love. This is perfect for learning, especially when you're learning the whole tarot system. So let me explain a little bit more about tarot for those of you that are interested in learning, okay? So there's in the tarot deck, there is 78 cards total. I know that sounds like a lot. It really does. 22 of those cards are the major arcana cards. Now, to me, the major arcana cards are the ones that everybody loves to see the most. Like the Hierophant, the Sun, the Devil, the Moon. That's so funny. I said the Moon. It was literally the next card after that. The Emperor, the Chariot. I'm going to keep pulling. And the High Priestess. I think I'm going to read from the High Priestess today. Yeah, the Empress, the Fool, the World, the Sun, the Moon, the Star, the Hangman, the Death, the Last Judgment, the Star. Star's a really good one. Temperance, Hermit. I already said Judgment. Okay, so we're gonna use the High Priestess one. So those are like the favorite cards, right? There's 22 of them. So that's what I wrote this book on. Now, who is Vassago? Vassago is an Ars Goetia spirit that King Solomon worked with at the time that he was building his temple. However, I don't feel like he should have been put in the Ars Goetia. King Solomon didn't know what to do with Vassago because of what Vassago said to him. So King Solomon was conjuring up spirits, and I know this sounds very weird, but this is like the real story, okay? He was given a ring by Archangel Michael that had the Solomon seal on it, which was his seal. So he could command spirits and see them and all this other stuff because he had a magical ring that was given to him by Archangel Michael. Okay, so at that time, when he conjured up or summoned or called upon Vassago, whatever his process was, again, I don't know exactly what to call that. Vassago was like, I know that you think that you're the King of Kings, but you are not the King of Kings. Jesus is the King of Kings. And King Solomon's like, who is Jesus? Like, what did you just say to me? I'm not the king. Like, he was hella pissed, right? And Vassago's like, well, Jesus hasn't come yet, but Jesus is the one that we listen to. We follow Jesus. And so King Solomon didn't know what to do with that. He was like, so I can't use you to build my temple? No, not really. So he kind of just put Vassago aside, classified him in the Ars Goetia as a spirit of divination, because he knew obviously that Jesus was going to come in the future. And he does know past, present, on future on things, but it's through seeing patterns. It's not like what people think when they hear divination. So anyways, so yeah, then King Solomon just classified him, put him to the side, never really worked with him again. Nowadays, he's a spirit guide for me, but nowadays he's very, very in high demand to work with because he's so knowledgeable when it comes to the tarot. So how he explained the tarot works to me. This is how he explained it. While you're a human, you will experience every card in the deck. Okay? At one point or another. That's how it maps human consciousness, and it's really good for picking up patterns that like history repeating itself, right? And that's something that Vassago will help you become aware of. Before I was doing tarot myself, I would go to people that did tarot, and Vassago would be like, this person is missing all this information. They're not getting the right answers. Okay, so this book starts off, if you're wanting to learn to read for other people, I would always use a disclaimer when you're using tarot. Tell them that, first of all, if they're asking a question, they may not hear the answer that they want to hear. You can also tell them that the truth has a way of, the the tarot has a way of bringing out the truth in an abrupt way that may shock you. So, you know, and also tell them to use their best discernment, right? Okay. So I have no problem with you guys using that disclaimer. And then God had me create a really long prayer to use before every reading that you do, whether you're reading for yourself or for others. And that's just putting your best foot forward. And then I put in an initiation with Vassago. If you want to work with him, like I was just telling you, how he's helped me is when I would be trying to pull cards for myself on something, I would be looking for something that I wanted to see, obviously, you know, and or suspecting something. And I would be missing what was actually there. Vassago would be like, no, wait, look at this again. And then I see what's actually there. So that's how he's helped me. Okay. So you can either do the initiation or not. It's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable with. But he's very kind, very patient, very compassionate, and not scary at all, not negative at all. That's why I don't feel like he should be classified in the Ars Goetia, but it is what it is. I didn't write the Ars Goetia, so who am I to complain? So this book has 22 different tarot card spreads based off of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. So you can either, but it has an additional one, which I'll talk about in just a second. So there's no wrong way to use the book. You can either go from the very beginning to the very end and do all of the, do the readings in order, or you can go to whatever subject interests you or has your attention at that moment. If it's love, you can go straight to love. If it's somebody passed away, you could go straight to death. If you have a court case, you could go to justice or the judgment. So it's up to you how you want to use the book. But this book starts off with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread where you shuffle the entire deck. You want to use the original Rider-Waite, okay, with this book because that's what it's written off of. And you pull 2 cards for each zodiac sign. One card that you pull will be your south node where your ego's at. The other card will be your north node where your destiny's at. And then the information in the book and the information from the cards will give you clues into how to step into your destiny and how to get out of the ego, right? And then the spell that goes along with that is literally to step into your destiny. It helps you connect with your destiny. Okay, so we said that we were going to read from the High Priestess. So let's go just straight to that. Must be on this other page. And it is. Page 100. Okay. So basically for this book, you do the tarot card spread first, and it gives you the information. Then when you go do the spell/ritual, and they're not like other rituals, okay? This is like a prayer with God and the Holy Spirit. And so it's not like, I don't know what other people do with witchcraft, but this is like, you could call it maybe manifestation, but I don't know. It's with God and the Holy Spirit, so I don't really know what to call it. Okay, also, just to let you know, so there's 78 cards total. 22 of them are the major arcana card. That means the rest of the deck are the pages, the children energy, the queens, or I'm sorry, the knights, which are the hero energies, the queens, the kings, and then you have, and those are like the rulers. Then you have the aces, which is the energy that comes from God, the 10, which is a completion, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you have cups, which represent love. You have pentacles, which represent money and prosperity, and also cups can represent happiness as well. And then you've got swords represents protection, self-defense, cutting people off, and then wands, which represents magic, manifestation, speech, words, thoughts, intentions, that type of energy. Okay, so we are looking at the Mystery Temple of the High Priestess tarot card spread. So just to let you know, for each of the tarot cards, there's different ways to read them. So you can read them as what the subject matter is, or each tarot card in the deck has a number association. It's also got a yes, no, maybe, or cautious situation, answer associated with it. And then it's got either one or more than one zodiac sign. Okay, so now that you know that, for each of these card positions, the card that you pull is either going to be a yes, no, maybe, or cautious. That will let you know if you're in alignment with the card position or not. That's just one way to read it, right? Okay, And I hope that you guys do use that, because that is one way to read it. So the High Priestess is the number 2. The answer is yes. The zodiac is Cancer and Taurus. The High Priestess holds both inner peace and strength. The High Priestess is the card that tells you that in the upcoming days you will be preoccupied, psychic, intuitive, and spiritually driven prophetess. The High Priestess does not overreact. She or he remains calm and sure of the outcome. She is a beautiful, mysterious, yet unattainable woman of power. So for this reading, you're going to shuffle the entire deck. I mean, I'm actually going to do that, okay, and show you how this works. I'm going to shuffle the entire deck, and you're going to pull one card per position, one card for each position. And I've done position 1 so many times. I think I'm going to do position 3, which is the High Priestess. Okay. All right, so let me shuffle them really quick. I am not married, no. I don't know who you're talking about. I was married, but I had to get out of that because it was extremely abusive and very unhealthy and very bad for me. But I'm better now. I mean, somewhat better. I'm not perfect, but I will tell you that I went through a definite awakening and realized, you know, that I deserve to be treated nicely. I don't deserve to be beat and all that crap. Okay, so position 3, the High Priestess. So this card position shows you how adept you are to spiritual practice and the workings of magic. What level of mastery and divine education have you recently achieved? If you have an upgrade or level up coming, if you have an upgrade or level up coming, the card that you pull for this position can show to you that your spectacular ascent. This card will give you clues to your divine feminine nature and higher self. How in tune are you with your inner goddess? When do you allow yourself to be in your feminine energy? And when do you allow yourself to be masculine? If there is any inner guidance or divine power that is going to be passed down through your spiritual generation, that may come through the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the High Priestess card for this position, you will know that that's a double confirmation for you. Also, if the card that you pull is a yes answer card, then you will also know that you are compatible and integrated with your divine femininity. And remember, you guys, everybody has feminine and masculine energies, just not everybody has divine feminine and divine masculine energies. But that doesn't mean that they can't awaken that God can't activate that. You know what I mean? I know my left ear just started ringing like a very high pitch sound. Okay, let's give it one more shuffle. And we'll see what we got. King of Swords. Very interesting energy here. So the King of Swords is a natural leader. Okay, so like your level up or upgrade, this is saying could be because you're being put in a position of authority. Yeah, so this is definitely a confirmation here. Also, the King of Swords being a masculine card shows me that you're standing in your power. So you're allowing yourself to be masculine when you have to stand up for yourself, when you have to stand up for others, and when you need to make a moral decision. That's what this is showing me. Also, your ability to be a leader, to be sharp, intellectual, analytical, and organized, abrupt, even if the judgmental part is, it's not like you're judging people to punish them. It's called discernment. Good instincts and common sense, great ideas, high moral standards. Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say that you have this authority within you. So that would be a good confirmation. So hopefully you understand now how the book works and what it teaches you about yourself. Okay, so the High Priestess Tarot card spell is for personal enlightenment. And so this is the affirmation. You obviously do a actual little ritual, like where you meditate and stuff, but okay, once you have cleansed the High Priestess card, you will then activate it by tapping it 3 times on your brow of your forehead, your third eye, aka your third eye. This connects you to the energies of the High Priestess. Hold the High Priestess card to your forehead and recite the following sentence out loud. I invite my higher self, High Priestess self, forward into my consciousness and awareness now. And then you repeat that until you feel a shift. And then you move the card to your high heart and you activate that. And then you keep going through the chakras. So, okay, so that's basically part of the spell / ritual that you do with that for the High Priestess. That's for personal enlightenment. Then if you go to the back of the book, if you were to be doing any of these, you know, I don't know about a coupon code. Yeah, I don't know. But this is the cards you want to learn off. If you learn from this deck, you can go to any other deck, and when they give you the abstract picture that has nothing to do with the interpretation of the card, you'll know what the card actually means. So, yes, so the High Priestess, that's what we're looking for. Okay. So if you were to be doing any of these readings from this book and you pull more than one of the major arcana cards out together, then I would go to the back of the book and see if that card combination is there and see if you feel like that's, you know, a possible interpretation or energy. If it's not there, that's okay. I mean, it would be probably impossible to list every single card combination that's out there, but I have listed a lot that I've seen before. So I'm going to read a little bit from the High Priestess. The High Priestess Tarot card is the spiritual practitioner card. The High Priestess is a self-initiatory and public initiation process. The High Priestess Tarot card indicates a spiritual seeker. If you pull the High Priestess Tarot card in the reverse, you can rest assured that you are dealing with a dark practitioner of spirituality. If you pull the High Priestess Tarot card in the reverse and then you pull the Devil Tarot card, it indicates that the dark High Priestess serves or worships the demonic. When you pull the High Priestess and then pull the Moon Tarot card, it could indicate that someone is working with the moon to spiritually possess you. If you pull the High Priestess card and then you pull the Hierophant Tarot card, it could indicate that this High Priestess has a teacher, coach, or mentor who is a Hierophant, like a person of power. If the High Priestess Tarot card comes out with the Strength card, it indicates that the High Priestess is extremely powerful. And it just keeps going on and on and on, you guys, but you get the gist of the different card combinations. Check this book out. It is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. It's tagged in the products, linked in the description box below. And it's written off of the original Rider-Waite Tarot. This is the quick and easy Rider-Waite Tarot. It's the learning deck. It's got the description on the cards. I have that also tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. And I've got the Truth of God Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook also tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. So for those of you that do want to develop yourself spiritually and expand yourself beyond what these readings offer, those 2 books are definitely worth the money. Oh my gosh. Seriously. So worth it. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please like this video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you guys, everybody that donated. I love you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Also, I do have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. And on that platform, I do readings, but I use more Oracle card stuff. And so it's a little bit softer. So just to let you guys know, if you have personal questions, you want to ask them on this platform, send me a $20 and do it at the beginning of the reading. So make sure you tap the notification bell. But if you send me a was that just a fly? Oh, hell no. Sorry about that, y'all. If you send me a $20 super chat with your question, then I pause the collective reading. I set a 20-minute timer. And then I answer your question, okay? All right. I love you guys so much. Peace be with you. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.